Hi guys, welcome back to another video. It's been such a long time. But anyway, this is another educational video protected by US copyright, which allows for fair use, and also Nigerian copyright, which allows for fair use and fair dealing. Everything I'll be using in this video will be permitted, and it's permitted under free speech. As always, commenters are encouraged to share their perspectives. Now, the reason why I'm coming out with this video, for me, I like to come out. It's not about insults flying back and forth. Of course, saga has now started again on the street. And I told you before, I could see the signs coming weeks ago. I said, oh my word, what is going to be dug up because of this saga? It is not going to end well for a number of people. And we can see it playing out on the street. So for me, I'm not here to come and start trading insults back and forth. I just want to go into, as I always do, another perspective about this so-called scammer or which is on the street now about UK, and to really dig into this bank loan issue. Well, most people, as usual, are not critically thinking about this. They're taking it as, they usually do, like, oh, it take loan, oh, it loan, oh, na scammer, oh, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that may be the case, but let's go into it in a bit more detail and understand what might be going on. Yeah, so we all know that Choice TV came out to call out UK, calling her a scammer, and saying that she has stolen millions of naira. This has been going on for a number of weeks now. Like, we started with the fish saga a few weeks ago, things quietened down. Now we've come with another one, 2 million. And then after the 2 million, we're now being led to believe that there's more debt which is going to come. So it doesn't look like this is going to be ending anytime soon. The question is Choice fair to be calling out UK? Now, before I continue, I want to let people know that, look, UK, you've taken a loan. If you had no intention of paying that loan back, that is wrong. For you to cut off all contact, that is wrong. If you've taken out a loan, you have to pay that loan back. So nobody here is saying that UK should not be paying back the loan. Even UK herself is not saying that she's not going to pay back the loan. When she's come out to be accused about fish, not delivering her product, or this loan, she's not denied it. So the main issue is that she's taken out the loan. Now, for me, I'm just thinking these are all private issues. People have things going on inside their homes when it comes to finances we know nothing about. We don't know how much rent people are paying, how much mortgage people are paying. We don't know the overdraft. We don't know how much interest they're paying. Like in the UK, everybody knows in the UK or in the West, people are living on credit. I'm telling you, like even in the US, people have free jobs. They're living on credit. So I don't feel this issue about people's loans, financial things should actually be out here on the street. Just like somebody's immigration status should not be out here on the street. It's nobody's effing business. Yeah. So at the end of the day, I don't think this should have been brought to the street, but it's been brought to the street now. So yes, the number one thing is that UK, if there's a loan being owed and you've agreed to it, then it has to be paid. But my main issue with this whole issue is this narrative which is being painted. Now, we all know that Choice is I've been saying this from time. Choice is an extremely emotional person. Choice thinks and reacts with her emotions first before she reasons. Choice doesn't always do her research. She trusts people, but that's because she's very emotional, and they give her information and she doesn't question most of the time. She will just come out and state it as fact, and she will not do any research. Often Choice will come out, she'll be saying things from a very emotional place, and then people say, but did you watch the video, Choice? Did you watch this? No, I didn't watch the video, but and that is Choice's downfall, especially in this situation. So of course, Choice, being the emotional person she is, has sympathy for this guarantor. So they have now come to Choice because this, with the fish and this, didn't come out of the blue. A consortium a group of people, a gang, have gone to Choice and have told her all the words that would trigger her to come out, whether it's about children, whether it's about someone being a fraud. And Choice believes that she's this humanitarian fighting for justice, warriors, warriors. And she believes she has to come out to settle for humanity, this scandal which has gone about. So Joyce, of course, has sympathy for this guarantor who's about to lose her job. And you can hear the emotion in her voice.
This woman is about to lose her job. This woman is in pain. She's about to lose her job.
So this is choice for you, very emotional. Now she describes this woman who's about to lose her job as a very young woman who is now just developed BP. But the woman sounds really mature from her voice. So you're going to listen to the audio recording. And the reason why I want to bring this up is that this woman sounds like a very experienced account officer or bank officer. It's not somebody that you would just go to the bank and then you can just go in there, give me 2 million, 419 and disappear. The woman looks like she knows what she's doing. And the reason why understanding this is important is because later on the video, I will explain to you what I think actually happened with the loan. And I want you to think about it, that this woman is a mature woman. And this process of this loan, it was planned. It wasn't that she was scammed by UK, because that's one of the things that people are trying to make it seem like, that UK went there, took the loan, agreed she was going to pay back, and then she disappeared and she left Abuja. No, this woman is very experienced. So for such an experienced, mature woman to, she shouldn't be in this position unless it was something that she was trying to do something underhand and outside of the bank process. This woman is not young. She's a mature woman. So you'd expect that this person who's a bank officer would have experience when it comes to things like a loan. Listen to her voice.
Good evening.
So she's a mature woman. So the question is, how did Choice get herself into this mess? Because whether you like it or not, Choice now is being dragged on the street, even by people who usually are on the same side as Choice. Yeah, she's being dragged for this decision. Yeah, I'm thinking that Choice, she was sent a message, and Choice will always come out and say she's been given a job, she's been given a case. This taking on jobs and cases is what is Choice's downfall, especially with the emotions that she has. So she was sent a message, as far as I'm concerned, by the Golden Camp. Yeah, we heard about this 2 million naira, not from Choice. We heard about it 6 months ago, if you can all remember, when the two sisters were in their elements, coming out day after day, night after night, saying one thing or the other. So we heard about this 2 million debt then. And, for us to think that people keep saying, no, Editorial's quiet, they're in their lane, it's a lie. Do you think that Jenny or Gen Z being in Abuja, that there's nothing happening there and then peace going there as well? No. They are plotting. So for me, and this is just allegedly, because I always like to really think about how people come together, different actors, they're thinking, okay, how can we bring this 2 million debt to light? Let's get Choice, because they foolishly believe that Choice had a lot of power. And that if Choice came out and she now started spreading that, Editorial is a child of God, Editorial is just disliked because people are jealous of her. The kind of things that they've been spouting in that camp for a long time. That Choice would be the only one to convince everybody else on the other camp that, yes, it's true. So Choice has now come out. She's converted now. And she's now saying the same thing. Editorial is a child of God and everything else. And she is the one that they have now given the job to now rehabilitate Editorial's image and to really try and spread more about this 2 million debt. Because remember, when they came out, I think it was in November, December last year, the 2 million debt didn't go anywhere, quietened down. So now they've gone to Choice to spread it further on her platform by feeding her emotions and her ego, by saying to Choice, you are this, you fight for justice, we are warriors, and then Choice is coming out saying, yes, 2 million debt. So we heard it from Jenny.
Now this girl, this lady now come they talk say, if they cannot hold UK for her to come and pay the money, that she's going to lose her job.
Now, have we heard this before? Can you see this? Yeah, and this is the reason why I'm saying that it came from this group of people, because in December they're using exactly the same words. She's going to lose her job. And what does Choice say?
This woman is about to lose her job.
Yeah, she's about to lose her job. So all the same words.
Now you don't go collect loan of 2 million naira. They don't call you tire in no pick. UK, why they pick your call? UK Sunday Ekanem. Bank manager has been calling you. The people you went to collect money from in the bank, UBA bank, they've been calling you. Why have you not been picking your call? My sister just did. My mama just did. You see people enter with UBA bank clothes.
So now we know that the bank involved is UBA, yeah? And we know that Edith and her mother were there when allegedly these people came to the hotel from UBA. Now, I said in one of my community posts, because I always say this, that look, as soon as this thing came up, I said Editorial was involved. Why? Editorial doesn't know how to hide her tracks. She's not smart when it comes to things like this. She should have just stayed off. But the way she immediately came out to put that community post out there, talking about the issue, saying some of my subscribers have reached out to me saying, Edith, your name is all over the comment section. Nobody was mentioning Edith on the comment section. If anything, they were saying, yes, we know it's your cousin, we know it's UK. But Editorial could not resist coming out because, of course, she was part of this plot going to Choice TV. And we know that she went to Choice TV because all of a sudden Choice is coming out. Her and Editorial are besties now. Yeah. So we know she's part of that plot. And then, of course, she adds in the usual thing. I know I'm one of the most hated person in this community because of God's blessing over my life. I mean, this is the problem with Editorial. And, you know, the fact that Choice is also repeating the same thing as well. That, oh, we only dislike, Editorial is only disliked because of, you know, people are jealous of her. Where have we heard that before? Is it not from G Gift? You know, oh, Editorial, people are jealous of Editorial. So Choice is now repeating the same thing. So you just have to look at people's language, look at the time that they say things when they're very close together to know who has been speaking to who and what this plot has been about. Yeah. Now, remember, I said to you before, this is not about UK not being at fault for not paying that loan. The whole point of us on this channel is just to work out the pieces that people are not telling us so we can work out why this story is coming out now. Why is this private information coming out now onto YouTube? So she goes, everyone, I'm not owing anybody. I'm not the one owing. Okay, you could have just stopped their Editorial. But what does she do? The person owing knows herself. So we know that Editorial is part of this whole thing. Nobody's going to tell me any difference. I'm not even going to say allegedly. Come and prove me wrong. And then, of course, the other person that comes out to join in is Peace. Now, you know, I've told you before about Peace. I don't really like reacting on Peace because I don't know why people can't see through this woman, that there's something not wrong. There's something just not right there. And for Choice to come out on a live stream, how many weeks ago when this whole financial thing of trying to bring down UK with fish and now 2 million naira, and then Peace was there. And then I couldn't believe Choice was saying, oh, Peace, come and speak to me. I said, oh, my word. Do you know what you're opening yourself up to? So we know that Peace is not all there. So, of course, Peace coming out immediately after Editorial to start talking about Wahala not to finish, don't borrow to fund a fake lifestyle. We know they're all in this plot, that they tried to do it themselves. It didn't work. So they've now gone to use Choice and her platform. And Choice foolishly, and I would say foolishly because she doesn't know what's coming. She thinks that what's coming is just what's happened in the past few days of people abusing her. No, that is just the tip of the iceberg. So you've got Peace, which is there. And I keep saying to people, Peace is not all there. I'm telling you, if you look at this picture of Peace and her two cousins, look how tiny Peace's head is compared to the two cousins. She never used to have such a tiny head, you know. You know, Peace is not all there. So, you know, when you start digging up issues like Peace and then other people as well who just don't know how to, I don't know, it's not going to end well.
She that you went to meet, she did not tell you that I was having issues, but rather she brought it up on social media. And when she brought it up on social media, I told her, stay away from my bank. I want you to just pay me my money.
So, you know, even UK is sounding like she believes that it's Editorial. And I know definitely that it was Editorial. I'm not even going to say allegedly. I know that Editorial is behind this whole thing. So as I said to you before, Choice is a very emotional person. And those people that know Choice well know how to switch that woman on. It's just a few words. Just paint a picture on Choice's mind and she's all yours. She would be doing anything that you want to do. You know, she'd be doing things that are not even in her best interest, but she would do it. So, of course, immediately after the post, Editorial comes in to remind Choice once again that she must go through with this plan. Because we've heard Choice come out saying, oh, I will not be distracted. I must focus on this job and case they've given me. Let me not be distracted. You know, so you have people in the air saying, focus on getting this UK. You know, remember this thing that you did to me, Choice. Remember when I was 7 months pregnant, when you dragged me and my son was standing in my belly, Choice. Remember what you did to me, Choice. Don't let me down. Come out and finish the job. We've given you the job. And so, of course, Choice is going to go through this job. But at the expense of going through that job, what is going to come? So it was a plot that they all came up with, from Peace to Jenny to Editorial. Yeah. Even G Gift. that how are they going to go and get Choice on board, Choice that they think has the power to convince people that Editorial is not a bad person. And she's not a bad person, you understand, but she has issues. And people dislike her for certain things that she does. They dislike her character, you understand, not her as a person. So they believe that Choice is the one to rehabilitate and tell people that, yes, it's all jealousy. And Choice believed that herself that she also had the power to come and tell people that same thing, but it has backfired and backfired badly. So it's a plot they all came up with, and we can hear it in the audio.
They are not the one I did transaction with. I did transaction with my bank. So if I have not paid my bank, anything I am owing is my bank, not them. But if they had not come up with this thing, you wouldn't have paid me money, but you wouldn't have called me.
So you heard what the guarantor is saying, that if they hadn't come up with this thing. So what is the thing that they came up with? Is the plot now. What was the thing that they came up with? The plot was to come and say, yes, how can we now bring back this 2 million debt that was buried in December? How can we bring it back? We bought back the fish. That one has now been paid, it's covered. Okay, now it's time for, let's bring the 2 million debt back. So you can hear the guarantor. If they had not brought this thing back now,
if they had not come up with this thing, you wouldn't have paid me money, but you wouldn't have called me. You came and gave me to even, if not for it, that even gave me, that even made me to know.
Can you see? And the guarantor now says, if it was not for Editorial, or who even gave me, what did she give you? If it was not the contact to Choice, if it was not Editorial that even gave me.
You came and gave me to even, if not for it, that even gave me, that even made me to know I was.
So the question is, I said at the beginning that, what I'm interested in really is about this loan, because there's some things about this loan that don't make sense. And with me, I like to understand the back end. I like to do the research. You can't come to me and start telling me, oh yes, this person owes a loan and whatever. Number one, we've already told UK she needs to go and pay. That's one thing which is unacceptable. But there are things about how this loan is being portrayed which doesn't make sense. Like, this woman's been seen as this victim and guarantor, but the story doesn't add up. Was this not a 419 loan? That's the question. Yeah. Now, we heard from Jenny that this loan came from UBA Bank. And if you look at UBA and how they give loans, we've heard that the loan was meant to be 2 million over 1 month, which seems very unusual for a loan. Usually when you get a loan, it's over several months and then you pay it back bit by bit. You have your 1% fee. So this is what UBA say when it comes to applying for that loan in Nigeria. But it seems like this process was not followed.
This woman has gotten BP. Let us consider the health of this woman. She meant well when she stood up for UK. She meant well.
So what do you mean that she meant well? What do you mean she meant well? Because for me, it's seeming like she meant well is that she didn't follow the process of that loan. Yeah? What do I mean by the process of that loan? There are big red flags in this case. Yeah? Red flag as in there's something that's just not correct. Yeah? Because number one, we're saying that she's the account officer. How can an account officer act as a guarantor? Is that not conflict of interest? How? It doesn't make sense. Why would you guarantee a loan for UK? Even if it's somebody that there are regulations in the bank that you cannot even be a guarantor as a bank officer for your own family, not to talk about somebody who's a friend or somebody you don't know. So how could that woman act as a guarantor? I don't think she acted as a guarantor, guys. Yeah? So if you look at how one takes out a loan. So look, the account officer, I'm calling her AO. She took out, there was this 2 million UBA loan bank. Yeah. So what happens when you're going to apply for a loan? Number one, customer will apply. Yeah. And so the account officer will now take the customer through the loan application. Then she will now get documents saying, give me your ID, 6 months of your bank statements or turnover of your business. And then she collects and checks all of this. Yeah. And then she now says, oh, I think she's eligible for the loan based on that. That's the role of the account officer. So the number 3 is no longer about the account officer now. The account officer is going to submit her recommendation to the credit team. And they are now going to make that decision. It's not about the AO. Yeah, it's about the credit team now saying, oh, our account officer, somebody came in for a loan. The account officer has now checked all of the documents. We are going to discuss it on our committee. And then we are going to either deny or approve the loan. That's it. Yeah. And then an offer letter is given to the customer. And then the money is put in the customer's accounts with a plan for this is how you are going to pay that loan. Yeah. And so then the account officer is just to monitor the repayment and remind the customer if she doesn't pay on time. Then if the customer does not pay, yeah, number 9, then this is when the account officer will follow up. That a team may contact the borrower. If there was any collateral or guarantor, they will be pursued, and then they will think about legal action. Yeah. So it's not the account officer that's going to be doing all of this. It will be the bank. So one of the things that people have been asking is that why is the bank not the one coming after UK? Why is it this so-called guarantor? That doesn't sound like a guarantor, because she cannot be how can you be a guarantor for somebody and you're the account officer? Does that make sense? So she's not the guarantor.
People they are on my neck. I said this thing want to affect my work now. I'm giving you did not know what you made me to pass through. If you pay me my money, I don't have everything will stop. No.
And the other thing that she keeps saying, pay me my money. Is it your money or is it the bank's money? Yeah. So this is the reason why I'm saying that there are big red flags, that this does not seem like the typical process was followed. Choice is the one saying, oh yeah, she tried to help you. It was not the typical loan, guys. Yeah. That's what it sounds like. Allegedly. Doesn't sound like the typical loan. Yeah. She's only concerned about getting my money. So it sounds like, she maybe has had to pay her own money to cover that debt. So now she wants her own money. So that is fair enough. But I think it goes deeper than that, guys.
When she brought me up on madam, I told her stay away from my bank. I want you to just pay me my money. How do I get the money now? Just pay me my money. Just pay me my money. Finish, I will give you. Sorry about that. Just pay me my money.
Now, one of the other things that I will say before I even start this video as well is that UK, please don't share this video. Don't set a live stream on the back of this video, because UK is also a very emotional person. As soon as she hears something that's whatever, she will now set and it will just spark something off. I'm not making this video so that it will now start something else. I'm making it just to put another perspective out there that things are not completely above board with this case. Yeah. So I'm not making this video trying to stir up UK's emotions. Yeah. I'm making the video just because I believe that some of us that like to critically think know that there's something deeply wrong with this case. So another red flag is that Eddie Godden, they kept saying that Eddie Godden was collateral. Yeah. It was collateral for this hotel. And we know that Jenny loves this hotel. Jenny believes this hotel is the family hotel. And I did a video a few weeks ago, months ago, where I spoke about how, the family foolishly believe that hotel belongs to them. So they're fighting tooth and nail. But I'm sorry to tell them that the hotel doesn't even belong to Editorial. But that's another story. This hotel is Mazi's hotel, is an Igbo hotel, whether they like it or not. But they believe it's their hotel. And that's why they're coming out.
The reason we came out to talk now is because they can't find you for our hotel.
Our hotel. Yeah. But, they're going on and on that the reason why they came out to disclose this 2 million debt was because UK used the hotel as collateral.
This question that I'm asking, thank you, Anoluwa. Why did UBA go to Eddie Godden Hotel? That is the only thing that we are here to ask.
And so that's the other question that I want to have answered as well. Why did UBA go to Eddie Godden Hotel? The fact that they went to Eddie Godden Hotel also is another massive red flag that shows you that this loan was not the correct UBA process loan. It was not the correct way that UBA institutes their loan, just the fact that they turned up at that hotel. Now, those of us that are in the know, we know that Eddie Godden, there's no way that Eddie Godden would have been collateral for that UBA loan. Why? Because the hotel owner has to agree. Yeah, you cannot just go to a bank, because it's like me going to a bank and saying I want to take 20 million naira. They say, okay, fine. How are we going to say you go pay them back? And then I say, you go find me for Marriott now. You go find me for Sheraton. You go find me for Echo Hotel. Yeah, and they say, okay, no, it's true, Echo Hotel. Does that make sense to you? So she could not just go to the bank and say, oh yes, I'm going to put down my cousin's hotel. Yeah, if Editorial did not sign, the bank not going to touch the hotel. Not be so that they do collateral now. So they would have to get the original CFO deed of assignment to prove that the hotel really belongs to Editorial. Yeah. And they would have to even send somebody to go and look at that hotel. This hotel, when you say you should also not be hotel for inside village. How much that hotel is worth. They have to go and value the hotel now. So they can say, okay, 2 million naira. Okay, if this one defaults now, 2 million naira, we'll go there, go pack everything, come off of that garden to cover that thing. Do you get what I mean? So we know that there's no way that hotel was collateral without Editorial. Yeah. And then, of course, they want to see legal registration, which we know Editorial does not have. They want to go and, go and register the mortgage at the land office. Lots of things to ensure they can get their money back. So there's no way that hotel was collateral. So the way I look at it, the only way or the only reason they went to that hotel is that woman, she knows both UK and she knows Editorial. I don't know whether it's because they both go to that same bank to go and get their loans. I don't know. Or maybe she's a family friend. I don't know. But we know that she knows Editorial. So when she couldn't find UK, she went to the hotel. That's the way I look at it. And she went there unofficially because remember I told you before, the account officer, that's not their job. Their job is just to recommend, and then the risk department are the ones to decide should UK get that loan. So if UK now does not pay, it's not for the account officer now. She didn't sign off on the loan. It's for them to now go and get their bailiffs, get the police to go and look for UK. Yeah, going to a hotel does not make any sense at all. And this will explain why she keeps saying she's about to lose her job. Because why should she lose her job? If she did her job correctly, she was on seat, as somebody said. If she followed the process correctly, as I said to you before, UK came in, she gets her documents, she checks if she's eligible, the AO, and then she now recommends to the credit team that, yes, this customer has come in, I've checked the documents, they're all correct, and then the credit team now approved the loan. It's for the credit team now, if UK doesn't pay, that they didn't make the right decision. There should be no need for this account officer to be coming and saying, she's about to lose her job. She's about to lose her job.
And that lady, the lady, I'm very sure is the woman that was on seat the day. She was saying that they will soon remove her from job. They will sack her because she cannot provide customer that came to collect loan of 2 million naira.
Now, let me tell you, those of us that are from Nigeria, we understand what happens in Nigeria. Everybody, whether you're an employee or whatever, everybody is has their own side business within the side business. Let me tell you a story. I recently came back from Lagos, and we stayed in different hotels. Did we pay 300 USD per night or whatever ridiculous price that they were saying in, let's say, Marriott or Radisson Blu? Did we play any of the ridiculous prices that they were asking? I think at one point Radisson Blu was $600 per night. I know they were doing conferences then, but still, it's ridiculous. Echo Hotel, all of the Hilton. We didn't pay that money. Why? Because there's somebody inside that hotel that has her own side hustle, where she now has a travel agency where she will now give you cut price. You will now pay her own price. She will now settle the hotel stuff. So we are now paying less than in those hotels, beneath the market rate for those hotels, because they had a side hustle going on. All of us know that in these banks, look at the students that are coming to Japa. Yeah, we know what's happening when it comes to proof of funds. Do you think people have 30-60 million in that account? No, it stays at 28 days. Look at Kemsey, 28 days is there. You pay a little bit of money, keep it there, go and show them, and then it's done. So we know in these banks it will be the same thing. So when she's saying that she might lose her job, if she followed proper process, there's no reason why she'd lose her job. I have no doubt in my mind, because I have people that work in the banking industry, that there's side hustles that go on, even with these bank account officers. And this is the reason why maybe Choice is saying, oh yeah, she tried to help you. She tried to help. Because she's saying she might lose her job. Yeah. Now, it could be that maybe she didn't look at the documents correctly, that maybe she didn't have, the ID, she didn't have the 6-month bank statement, and then you put it to the credit risk thing, forged or incorrect documents, and so now UK is now defaulted, so they're now saying it's the AO. It could be that maybe it's one of the reasons why she's saying that they are saying that she can lose her job. But I don't think it's that. It could also be that she's the guarantor. But I told you before, how can she be the guarantor? She's the account officer. It's a conflict of interest. So she cannot be the guarantor. I think more than likely what would have happened is that 2 million naira may have been 419 loan, off the books loan. Yeah. So similar to what I said to you in the hotel, where yes, when you go there, they're telling you, you go onto the Radisson website and it's 600 US dollars per night. But then this company are now offering packages and deals using the staff, using the management of the hotel behind to now offer people $50, $100 per night. You get what I mean? So in the bank, it could have been the same thing. Okay, because it's unusual that you take 2 million naira and pay back within 1 month. I mean, UK says she's been doing this for some time, 250 she would pay back to. So it could be that they have that loan, but now all of a sudden, 2 million naira. So it could be that this loan was agreed outside the bank system. Yeah. And then what happened is that she used the money from the bank. She just took bank money and gave that to UK. You gave her the cash, but she said pay it back within 1 month, so that by the time they go and start checking, doing the audit of the books, doing the accounting, that money is already back. So they're not going to miss that 2 million has been taken out and given to somebody. Yeah. So she expected that UK would pay that money back within 1 month. So she gave that to UK and there was no process. No documents were checked, nothing. It didn't even go to that credit team. Do you see what I mean? Yeah. And then the plan is that the customer is going to pay her back with the interest personally. That's how she's making her money. Maybe she's doing this for a number of people. And this is how they make their money. Just like the travel agent making her money on the side. Like if I will pay maybe $100 per night instead of $600 per night, she will now give the hotel maybe $50 or $70. She will pocket the $30 per night. Yeah. So this lady will take the bank's money saying, oh, before they now do their next accounting run, I will give you the 2 million, but you must pay it back within 1 month so it doesn't look like it's missing. And on top of that, you pay me my interest. Yeah. So it may be this is what she did. And, you know, she will get the interest and then the money, 2 million, she return back to the bank. Nobody knows what's going on. She may have done this for UK. She may have done this for a number of people because everybody is on the take in Nigeria, even in a restaurant. We've heard people that have come to Japada back to Nigeria, the restaurant, even the staff, even Editorial herself would tell you that, look, the rooms that, you know, they will be taking the money from the rooms. It's everywhere. So this is what I think this woman did. Yeah. And then, you know, the red flag is that, you know, there was no loan. Yeah. The customer will pay into her account. If the bank checks, you know, so now the 2 million did not come back because it was not paid back by UK. And all of a sudden, this account officer is now exposed. She's exposed because the bank has now checked. 1 month has gone by. They have now done their account. 2 million the loss. Where the 2 million now? And then it's now traced back that this is the woman that now transferred 2 million. How did you transfer 2 million? Where is the credit score? Where are the documents now that you sent to the team that we authorized this 2 million? There's no paperwork, nothing there. So now this is why she's saying she's a guarantor. She's a guarantor by force because more than likely what the bank are telling her now you've got to be the guarantor. Because now you take 2 million without authority to go and transfer to a customer. No document, no this, no credit team. She's a guarantor by force. That's why she's coming to say she's a guarantor. Because she's not allowed to be a guarantor. So the bank are now effectively making her act like that guarantor. And she must pay that money. And that's the reason why she now turned up at Editorial's hotel. Because she knows Editorial, she knows UK. She turned up there. You understand? UBA saying, oh yes. But it's not officially from the bank. Because I told you before, if the customer defaults, she doesn't pay. Yeah, then it's the recovery team that is going to contact the borrower that is going to pursue legal action. Yeah, so she now turned up and it's not her job. So all of these things are red flags that let you know that this thing is not above board. And that's why she's saying she's about to lose her job. This sounds like a private deal. And Choice, unfortunately, because I told you Choice runs on emotion. Choice doesn't do research. Choice doesn't think about, okay, let me go and find, where has this come from? Why are they bringing the job why are they trusting me now with this so-called job and case for me to go and pursue this money? She doesn't know she's now getting herself involved in EFCC. Yeah. In Germany, these kind of things like money laundering, they take it very, very seriously. So Choice now going after this money, not realizing that the money she's going after is illegal money. She's putting herself into trouble. And that's why I said she doesn't even know where this is going to go. I'm so looking forward to Monday when she comes out to now talk about the loan. I'm looking forward to it because all of these people are going to be in big trouble. Yeah, it sounds like it's a private deal.
And if you check, that money is more than 2 million. If you check, that money is more than 2 million plus your interest, and then that you left the money for too long, and it attracted more interest. I think 2,163,000.
So it's. Did you say 1 million or 2 million?
Okay, 2,163,000.
So 2,163,000. So 163,000 interest is on that money. Now, maybe because it's been left for so long, it's now 163,000. But as I said before, my hypothesis is that this woman has been collecting interest on these unauthorized loans for some time. There will be a team of them working there, because you can't get away with it just by herself. There will be other people there, just like a travel agent in the hotel will have people working together as a team to ensure that nobody gets uncovered. But unfortunately, this money was not paid back. So this is like money laundering in a sense. And UK, there's one thing that she said which made sense, which is, okay, if I'm going to pay this money back, because everyone's coming out like, Choice is going, just pay the money back to the woman. No, Choice, don't pay the money direct to that woman. You know why? Because you are going to be involved in money laundering with the EFCC. Pay the money back direct to the bank. There should be a paper trail of where that money is going. Then the woman can try and get her money back from the bank. That's what you need to do, because this thing is not going to close just by you paying the money. Because if it is true that money was taken from the bank and given illegally to a customer, you understand, that is money laundering. And so that needs to go back direct to the bank, and there needs to be a way of settling this whole thing internally.
Please, I want to ask you, that's money that I'm putting in your account. What if the money goes to my account direct? Goes to your account, then how do I retrieve it?
Why would you not be able to retrieve it? Are you not the account officer? And this is the reason why I keep saying there's a big red flag there, because if you are the account officer, and this is above board, if UK puts the money into an account, you should be able to retrieve that money. But you keep going about my money, because you didn't do this thing legally. This is the problem. And this is EFCC territory, this thing. So UK is correct to be saying, even though the reason why she's saying that she wants the money to go into her account is because she wants her account to be activated. Because of course, UK is now tied up in this EFCC scam. Even though she can say she didn't know. She can say she didn't know. She's not involved. She took 2 million. The only thing that UK has done is she took 2 million and then she didn't pay it. She didn't pay it back on time. But she's not accountable, because the lady gave her the 2 million naira with no bank processes. So it's on the bank and the so-called guarantor to, they are the ones that have to sort this thing out. Yeah, so it's for the guarantor. So UK, if she decides not to pay that money, I wouldn't advise her, she doesn't pay the money. But if UK doesn't pay that money, she can't really be held by the EFCC, because she didn't know that the loan was given fraudulently. She just believed, okay, 2 million naira, she paid it back in 1 month. And unfortunately, things happened, as she said, she couldn't pay it back. The big problem is around this lady taking this loan out, and now Choice coming to try and get the money back direct to this lady and not to the bank. That is for the EFCC, Choice. So UK, it's not about activating your account, even though the fact that they've deactivated your account shows that there is fraud involved. Yeah, it's about making sure you have proof you've returned money to the bank. That's the reason why you want to return the money to the bank. It's about making sure you have proof you've returned money to the bank. That's the reason why you want to return money to the bank, not because, oh yeah, I want my account activated. Yeah, return it direct to the bank so you can avoid any questions, because it's not going to stop once you return that money to that lady. It isn't, because there's still 2 million missing from that bank. Do you see what I mean?
If I put money in my account and it gets to the 2 million, once my account be activated, so I will want to put the money there, so that I will not have cleared anything that needs to be done in my account.
See, that's the only thing that you're saying that makes sense, UK. Put the money back in your account. That's where the money came from. So there is a trail there. There's evidence that the money has gone back into your account. And so whatever happens to that money next, whether it goes into the woman's private account or whatever, it's not your business. If EFCC get involved, it's not your business. You've paid the money back. But you should not be following what Choice is suggesting, like, oh yes, people collect money, give it direct to this woman, because there's still a black hole in the accounts of the bank. Yeah? So you should not, you should not be paying the account officer directly, because EFCC go carry you. Yeah? Do not give her the cash or send money to her personal account, because they would start saying that you supported fraud, you helped to hide stolen bank money. What you should do, pay the money back into the same account as you are suggesting that gave you the loan. Do not do any secret arrangement, as all these people are saying online, that the bank does not know about, because it looks like you are part of this plan where you went there, 2 million loan. Because I can guarantee you that this woman, this is not the first time she's done this type of loan for people. This is where she makes a little bit of money, side hustle, interest on the bank's money. Yeah? So they will say that you knew about this. They will not hear that, oh, I'm not Sabi, or I don't know about this thing. They won't hear any of that. Go to the bank and say you want to pay back, and make them give you the correct account, or tell them, can you put it back into your account? Yeah? So that when there's an investigation, there will be a record. Because if not, EFCC will carry everybody join, or even Choice that's collecting this money. Like even Gloria that wants to now go and collect money, go and put money into some strange woman's account. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Use the official account and ask for receipt to say, I don't pay the bank money, because it's the bank's money. As you said, UK, now the bank now give you the money. So you should be paying back to the bank, even if the woman herself is saying, oh, she's now had to act as the guarantor now and pay 2 million out of her own pocket. No problem. She herself can go and meet the bank that, oh yes, this customer that I did this thing for, she's now paid the money back into her account. Please give me my money back. Do it like that. Don't keep quiet and say that you're trying to pay back, because it will look like you're trying to cover fraud, 419. Yeah? So write a letter, UK, or email to UBA saying that you want to pay back which account, either your own account or the account. Make sure everything is open. Nobody should be sending any money to a private account. Yeah. And then this issue, as I said before, about going into people's personal details, finance, immigration status, health status, it needs to stop. It is so low class. It is so illiterate to be doing this kind of nonsense. Now all of these debtors are coming out at the same time. We know where it's coming from. We know. Yeah. The family, just stop. Settle your rubbish offline. Stop all this nonsense that you're doing online. Now you've gone to go and involve Choice, but Choice has only herself to blame, because she should have done her research. Choice, stop being led by emotions. Always do your research. Do your research. Know where this is going to go. When you're running, you keep saying warriors. I have a team. Warriors. You should have a team that can advise you. You keep saying you're taking on jobs and cases. Before you take on any job, any case, gather your team of trusted warriors. You sit down and you say, okay, this case has come to us. What should we do? The aim when you are a queen is not to be the smart person in the room. Surround yourself by people that are smart, that will say, oh, queen, think about this one. Think about this angle. Think before you take on the case. Don't just come out ruled by your emotions to be taken on other people's generational curses, as I said to you before. So we know that this debt has come from this family, and foolishly it's been run with now. And like I said, we know this is going somewhere that people don't even know where it's going. But anyway.
You open your mouth, they talk. You're smelling it, stupid, illiterate mouth. They talk. Before this 2 million naira debt that she collected, they've been underground 2 or 3 cases of something that she has done that we heard. Hi, Anu. We've heard like 2 to 3 underground matter UK that if we come out to talk safe, we'll crumble her.
And so, this, and so Choice now, these people tried to do these cases in November, December last year. It didn't go anywhere. They've now recruited Choice and given her the job. Yeah. And she's now running with that case, along with the fact that Editorial is this child of God and people are just jealous of her. You understand? Stop doing other people's work for them. If they want to come out, just come out direct and come and do it. Even the issue of the USA lady, we know where that lady has come from.
So there is a woman now that is calling me. She's calling me from US.
So guys, let me know what you think down below. Do you believe that this loan was an above board loan? Or do you feel that the way this guarantor, do you think this lady is even, how can she be a guarantor? Tell me, do you think she's a guarantor? Do you feel that, the way she's coming out to say she's losing her job, does it make sense to you that, okay, she has recommended somebody for a loan, and then the team that were meant to approve the loan according to her, but now that UK has not paid the loan, it's the woman that's now going to lose her job? Does that make sense to you if you think about the process of the bank and how the bank works? Or do you believe that this woman, because remember, do you think it's normal to have a 2 million loan that you pay back within 1 month? Maybe someone will go there for quick cash, like 20k, they need this, but 2 million in 1 month, does that make sense? And you might say, maybe UBA say that it's only 2 million, it's a small loan, and that's why they said 2 months. But if you look at, the amount of money that they lend, they can go from 200k up to 30 million. And they usually say that, they give them a repayment period over 60 months. So 2 million in 1 month, it doesn't seem to correct. It doesn't seem to be correct. The only way that would make sense is if, every single month they do the books. And so that woman needs to make sure she takes the money out, but she gets it back before they're doing the accounting again. Do you believe that Choice TV was unfairly led, or does she deserve everything that she's getting now? And I don't want any insults on Choice TV, because I think she's been insulted enough. Yeah, no insults, but let's, in this community, we are very academic. We speak well. Yeah. So do you think that, Choice TV was foolish to now not do any research and go and take on this job, this case, on behalf of this family, to trash out UK's private matter? Because it's very clear that it came from this family. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below.